save humanity. And it starts in Oklahoma.
She threatens to disrupt the peace.
What's happening, YouTubers? You're back in the building with the Life Gains channel. We're reviewing The Watchmen episode 2, and if you guys are not watching this, man, you are missing out. This thing is setting up to be really good and probably the next great hit on HBO. And we're just gonna go ahead and dive on into it. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. Turn on the notifications so when I drop videos, you get them. If you are a cord cutter looking to get some free streams to the end of the year, check the link in the video description. And I do have another round of the Power Season 6 t-shirt. All you gotta do is be a subscriber and tell me if you've watched The Watchmen or if you're planning to watch it. So this show starts out, this particular episode, where they're flashing back to Lou Gossett Jr.'s dad in World War I, where they're showing you all these scenes where the Germans are trying to get the black guys to ditch the US. Basically saying the US treats you like slaves. They even have a scene where US guy spits on the black army workers, and the Germans are just trying to get the black guys in the army to just say, the hell with the United States, you come do things for us and we're gonna treat you good. This was just a reference to show you how Lou Gossett got that paper that he got from his daddy. This episode is also very highly referencing Dr. Manhattan, who we all know is currently on Mars. I'm sure at some point in time they're gonna bring him back, or they're gonna have him on the show and they're gonna let you guys understand what he can do and all his powers. But if you remember from last episode, Lou Gossett was standing there with the captain strung up, hanging on a tree. We all know that that Lou Gossett's character couldn't do it because he's in a wheelchair. And Regina King's character snatched him up and she took him back to her bakery, quote unquote, and she's interrogating my man. Lou Gossett basically is telling Regina the captain was playing both sides of the aisle. He was pretending like he was the captain, but he really wasn't. And Lou Gossett does a whole lot of referencing Dr. Manhattan, saying the man can be a giant, he can be blue, he can be a human. A whole lot of setup to Dr. Manhattan. And throughout this whole thing, Regina's being nice to him. She's trying to interrogate him without hurting him. She gives him coffee, takes his pills, and she's just trying to get information out of Lou Gossett about the captain. But in true grasshopper form, he's just basically giving her little soliloquies without just coming out telling her the whole deal. And then they flash back to a time at Christmas, right before midnight, where you see Regina King and her current boyfriend or husband, I think he's her husband. And in that scene, the 7th Cavalry comes in, they attack them, and Regina King got a hit in and killed one of them, but the other guy shot her, and she's on the floor, and this guy is hovering over her with his mask on. Then she passes out and she wakes up in the hospital, and guess who's hovering over her? The captain, played by Don Johnson. And that to me is just showing that they're just highlighting that the captain was crooked. He's playing both sides of the aisle. And Regina King thinks that he's really on her side, but you can clearly tell the writers want us to know that homeboy was crooked as they come. For whatever the reason, he's on both sides of the aisle. And then they go on to highlight a little bit more of that, where during this episode, the new guy who's kind of taking charge a little bit goes to the trailer park camp and he lets the police just go ham on all the people in the trailer park, saying that it's the 7th Cavalry who took out the captain, as if they're trying to set it up where it's gonna be the people versus the police. And they go from that point. Then you see Regina King at the captain's house with his wife, right? They're just mourning his death. The wife knows how tight the captain was with Regina King's character, but also they introduced this damn very suspect senator who they highlight his face and the look on Regina King's face, letting you know that she knows at this point in time something is up, that this 7th Cavalry conspiracy goes deeper than the captain. It goes all the way up to a Senate level. From that point, Regina King pulls off this ruse that she's sick and she needs to lay down, and the wife takes her upstairs, let her lay down in the bed, and then Regina King whips out these crazy futuristic glasses that can x-ray through everything. And from that point, she's able to see through one of the captain's closets and she sees that this man had basically what looks like a KKK hood, and also she finds it, and then they reference, she sees that picture of him when he was young, and then there's this picture of the Native Americans leaning on the side of their horses, basically showing how they switch sides to fight. All this is letting Regina King's character know that homeboy was as crooked as they come. Then they get on a little further, and you see Jim Beaver is the grandfather of Regina King's adopted kids, and he's a little upset. He wants to spend time with the kids, and they've never really given a backstory on how she got those kids, but she writes my man a check to shut his ass up, and then he goes away. She goes in the house, and you see that one of those kids has a power where she's created what looks like a castle, and the thing is just basically floating. I was like, damn. Then they had another scene in this episode where they kind of introduced the hooded character, and this was a reference to why Regina King puts on her hood, and this particular character was a strong man in the circus, and they found out his identity and they killed him, and that was just kind of referencing why Regina King puts on her hood or what may have you. And what was funny in this episode, we can't forget about my man Ozymandias, played by Jeremy Irons. He had a whole damn play recreating the Watchmaker's son, which is basically about Dr. Manhattan, how he got his powers. And he's telling all his people he wants real emotion. He wants them to really play this thing out. But little did we know that he throws one of those guys in the chamber and burns him up for real. Like literally, he burnt the guy up. It's a play at his crib. They're doing this for him, and instead of it being a fake fire, he literally burns the guy up. And the chick who's doing the play with him, she really cried real tears because her feelings were hurt. That was her boy. And for some reason, have you guys noticed that they are giving Ozymandias a birthday literally like every day? He's blowing out a damn birthday candle. I'm just like, man, this show is gonna have so many twists and turns, man. You're gonna have to watch this over and over again probably to make complete sense of it. Then in the final scene, Regina King is back with Lou Gossip's character, and she's basically talking to him, still trying to get information out of him. He lets her know that he's in cahoots with some very, very powerful characters, and she's still trying to figure out which side is he on. He's alluding that he's got some powerful characters with him. She doesn't know what side he's on, and now she finds out that he is literally her granddad. So her great-granddad would be the guy in World War I that gave him that letter. She finds out that he's really and truly her granddad, and when she's putting him in the car about to go somewhere, next thing you know, those powerful people that he referenced literally drop a magnet on top of her car, scoop up her car with Lou Gossip's character in it, and fly away. And that's how they end it. And I was like, got to be more careful. Damn, what a show. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are not watching HBO's Watchmen, you need to get on it. You can tell they put a lot of thought into the story. They're trying to get minorities and women involved, and I think they're hitting home runs so far. I really like it, and I will be doing reviews on it. But leave me all your comments on how you feel about it if you've seen it, and why haven't you checked it out if you haven't. That's gonna do it for this video. Don't forget to like my video. Please comment, subscribe, go get yourself a life game. Check out the HBO's Watchmen, and until the next Sex is Hell video, I'll see you.